everyone, and welcome back to episode 4, I believe it is, of the quote-unquote Melee podcast. Today, I'm mainly going to be focusing on other topics other than Melee. I am going to talk about some things, so I've been really trying to get better and trying to improve recently. And so I don't have that big of a local scene. There are some people, but I'm also very limited in where I am, and the nearest city is a little ways away. So I gotta really try to find alternate ways to practice. So I'll be talking about that a little bit. I'll be talking about the schedule and what we have and what I'm trying to plan to do upcoming and throughout the summer at least, and then I'll evaluate how I'm doing, whether I like what I'm doing, and how much time I have when summer ends. I'm going to be talking about some other fighting games and how they're doing. This mainly ties into an overview of CEO 2018 and the top 24 projected of Melee and some stuff like that. So, hope you all enjoy this episode, and I guess we can just start right away with one other topic I want to talk about, which is SGDQ, also known as Summer Games Done Quick. I've heard some things from different YouTubers that it's not the same event that it used to be, and it's because the main person who ran it isn't completely running it anymore, or he's not the face of the company. If you don't know, Summer Games Done Quick is a speedrunning event, or Games Done Quick is a speedrunning event that happens 2 times a year, once in the summer and once in the winter. It's a week-long marathon where they speedrun video games. And so I've been watching that a lot recently. There isn't too much I want to touch on here. Just if you want to, go watch it. I'll try to leave that in the description. It is really cool. You get to see some people tear up some of your games that you may have played from your childhood, and you might find some new games that you didn't know much about, but you can watch there and stuff like that. It's a really good event. They do it for a good cause. You should, if you have the time, go and at least watch the stream. Some of the stuff they do there is really entertaining. Hold on. So, the next thing I want to talk about is the projected top 24 of Melee at CEO. So, I've kind of been looking at this bracket for a little bit, and there are a couple of notable people from the top 11. If you don't know my top 11, Save and Entitled made a really good video. We might not have them in the exact same order, but I do consider what he had as the top 11 to be pretty much the top 11. The only person I have maybe a little bit of a problem with is SFAT, but SFAT has been performing fairly well recently, so I'd still need to look into other people's results compared to his results and see how those stack up. But, yeah, so the 3 people that I see missing are Armada, Axe, and AMSA. And I kind of get Axe and AMSA. AMSA is, I think, flew back to Japan across seas for a little while. And then he'd come back for Evo, and then I don't know about Shine and SmashCon, but he's for sure coming back for Evo. I know that. Axe has been having some problems lately. I don't completely know what it is, and I don't want to try to take uninformed guesses at what it is, but he does have a video about it on his channel, I think, that you should go and watch if you want to know more about that. So this has 437 entrants, and I have no clue why Armada isn't there. I guess he just isn't. And so I haven't looked into this too much before, um, but it looks like Hungrybox is expected to win the whole thing, with Plup taking second, Leffen taking third, and Mewtwo King taking fourth. Zane and Wizzy tied for fifth, and then um, SFAT and S2J tied for seventh, I believe it is. Man, I just had a massive brain fart. And so, yeah. I don't really know too much of like what to look for. I'd say if there's one in Pool H1, I guess there's Ginger and Swedish Light. That upset I feel like could happen in Ginger's favor, but I do feel like Swedish Light is a good player and he could break through. I feel like the top 8 that they had, Leffen, Zane, SFAT, Plop, Wizard, Mewtwo King, and Hungrybox S2J is like pretty likely to happen, unless S2J has been kind of struggling lately. He did do really well at Smash and Splash 4 though, with his 5th placing. But if he does have a puff problem to Saint, he faces in H7, which could be a real problem. And then Crush could also, Crush and Gatsu could also pose as a decent sized threat. There's also Absent Page, who's expected to make his way through the bottom side of top 24, and his expected loss would be to Shroom. And I feel like that is still like a decent chance of like that could happen, but I also feel like that's an upset that could happen as they're the 16th and 17th seed. Absent Page would still probably drop down into losers though, as he'd then have to face Hungrybox. But then his projected lineup would be IBDW, and then Crusher Cyrox, and then SFAT. So I feel like Absent Page is another person who has a decent chance to show what he can do and prove if he's a top 30 player at this event. So I've kind of rambled on this for a little bit. I think that it's gonna happen how it normally happens. So I think Plup will take winners finals and be on the winner side of Grands, and Hungrybox will come back and take the bracket reset and beat him overall. I really hope I'm proven wrong. I was a pretty firm believer that Mewtwo King could do the Hungrybox matchup. Sorry. But with his recent appearances, I'm starting to have maybe just a little bit more doubt. There is a chance that Wizrobe could upset Mewtwo King, and Wizrobe did take the 2 sets off of Hungrybox at Optic Arena. So there could be that, and that would be pretty exciting to see. Yeah, so I might not have like entirely Smash content on my channel anymore. The backgrounds for this might not always be Melee. I might change it up a little bit with Smash 4, Smash 64, Project M Brawl, Rivals of Ether, Icons, things like that. Other like platform fighters kind of. But I may also include some just like regular fighting games. So like Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Street Fighter 5, Dragon Ball Fighters, things like that. So just be aware of that. Keep an open mind if you can. If you really do like Melee content, or if you really do like some kind of content, let me know, and I'll try to make that happen. But yeah, so there's that. So this episode and the previous episode have both gone up on Mondays, and that is my current plan as of right now, is to try to get an episode up every Monday. It may be hard to do at some points, but that's going to be my goal to aim for, and I really kind of want it to happen. I might also start including other things. My goal is to try to beat one game a month. So like, focus in on one game and try to like beat it. I might up it to 2 if I'm not that busy, but I want to try to beat like a game and then do like record it, stitch that all together. Maybe no audio, maybe I do. Happen to record myself while playing, or maybe I do happen to record audio while playing, and then upload that to my YouTube channel, and then upload a review of the game. What I thought of it, what I liked about it, what I didn't, what I wished the game had, if it had DLC, what would I want from it, if it had a sequel, what would I want from it. Things like that, just kind of some stuff like that. I might also be doing more like focused melee gameplay, where I'd be like trying to talk a little bit more about exactly what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and then maybe that can also help me point out some of the flaws in my gameplay and stuff like that. Yeah. And last thing I want to talk about are some like practice tips if you don't really have a scene around you, and you don't want to travel extremely far to do it, but like every now and then when you're on like a vacation or something, you might want to do it, like participate in a tournament and stuff like that. So these are just some practice tips to get better when no one is around, I guess. So the first thing I'd recommend is if you have a fairly decent internet connection and you're willing to download all the components, the Smash Ladder .com, also known as Aether's Ladder, has a very good netplay service, which is pretty much online melee. It's the people there are fairly nice. It's got an online, it's got like a competitive leaderboard and like a friendlies section, and it's really good to just go and practice. You might get somebody who's willing to give you advice. Otherwise, you can just play against some people and stuff like that. I really like this. It's really good. I'd say it really does help out. If you have even if you don't have the best internet connection, it still can if you're sharing it with quite a few people, stuff like that. I'd also say, other than just net play, you can, as you've probably seen me do in different podcasts, I either play against level 1 CPUs on 20xxte. It's really 20xxte is really beneficial for me. As you can see, when I don't do something right, you can have different things. So like if I don't L cancel, it flashes red and it has my display up above of my inputs, so that way if I'm like trying to study on my own, and I can use this footage as like gameplay, as like what I'm doing, and I can try to like replicate the movements of if I did something like really well. It's mainly used for tournaments, but it does have some training features. If you're not moving, it makes your character green. It has infinite shield toggles, CPU smart DI. C-Stick is available in single player, so things like training are a lot more useful. Overall it's a really good option to use to practice. Something else I'd recommend is 20xx. I use 4.0.5, but that's mainly because I haven't really wanted to go and get 4.0.7 yet. I really do kind of want to test it out and see how it is and what it's like and stuff like that, and then I can give you all an informed review on 20xx 4.0.7. I really like 4.0.5 because the CPUs are a lot harder and play a lot more like real humans. They're still they still have their exploitable weaknesses, but at some point they will learn to counteract them or get around them and stuff like that. Usually, I'd say. And yeah, it's really good. It's got a lot of features to help you train. I really need to look into how to do that and how to do more of that, and that may be my alternative version to 20xXTE. The menus in 20xXTE are just a lot more confusing for me, so if I do happen to figure out something, I may do like a tutorial of like how to use 20xx 20xx properly with all the menus and stuff like that. And so yeah, there's that. I don't really have too much else to say. I will try to get another video up in July. It may be a little bit hard for me. I may be cutting it a little close, like a little bit later Monday. But yeah, expect another video from me, and then I'll try to upload one, not this Thursday, but next Thursday as well. I'll start working on something. I have a really cool package that's coming in, and I want to try to make a video about it. So it may be a little bit later on when it comes in, but as soon as it comes in, I really do want to make the video about it. So look forward to that video. I'll also try to do like game reviews and stuff like that. So just be aware, check my Twitter, check your Mondays, and I hope you all have enjoyed this, and remember to keep on listening.